What is up and how's it going, Joey? It is episode 15 of the Noble Steady Sort of Sports Talk. We did it. One of the milestones, Joey. How you doing today, buddy?
Man, if you ever were to test your patience as a sports fan, today's the day. Ooh, that's bright. Today is my day as a sports fan to be spread thin. We've got
you and me both, buddy.
And it's both of us. You're learning this
Yes.
for the first time as a hockey fan, that October is a prime month for sports unless your teams are playing the same night. Stars openers tonight against the Nashville Predators.
Yep.
Yankees play hopefully a clinching game against the Royals. It's a great time to be a sports fan.
Yeah, and then not even to mention it, now it's not either one of our teams, but it is still Thursday night football, and not a bad game either. You got the 49ers playing the Seattle Seahawks in Seattle tonight, and the line on that game is 3.5 in favor of the San Francisco 49ers. The last time I checked, about an hour ago. So let's just start off with the games tonight. Broseph, how are we feeling about the Dallas Stars going into their first game of the season?
Man, I tell you what, I've been watching videos all day. They have a very good series on Victory Plus called Open Ice. They've done it on YouTube every so often. But hearing Jamie Benn talk about the team, the captain, and saying that this team is better than last year. Well, that team made a really deep run into playoffs. Their offseason wasn't as short as I wanted it to be. So hopefully this year it'll be about 2 weeks shorter, and they'll be lifting a trophy that's about 35 pounds over their head. Named the Stanley Cup.
Dang right, buddy. Dang right. And look, most times history has shown us that these teams, there's not a lot of teams that just come out of nowhere, right, and make a deep, deep run. It's usually guys that have experienced some playoff losses. You know what I mean? Like, they have to earn those stripes and those scars to know what it takes to win. And
let me tell you, the leadership of this Stars team has faced that deep run defeat. 2020, the bubble year, made it to the Stanley Cup Finals, lost to the Tampa Bay Lightning. Not last season, the season before, losing to the eventual Stanley Cup champion Vegas Golden Knights. And then this past year, losing to Edmonton, which it hurt rewatching that in the face-off inside the NHL on Prime, which I'm telling you, if you haven't seen it yet, give it a watch. It definitely gives you a look inside at a time that you don't think you'll get in an NHL locker room. You see basically Game 7 inside the Oilers locker room, and it's not pretty, but it's like, ooh, man.
It's inside a look, though.
Yes, it's really good. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to believe that's starting tonight, right? And like, just another thing that's starting, we didn't even mention in the opener, is we got the NBA starting soon. I don't know if you've seen the reports, and I'm kind of going on a tangent here, a little bit from hockey, but we'll circle back to it. That Herb Jones is being reported by Shams to be the Pelicans starting center.
Shams the new Woj?
He is. He actually is. Yes, he is the new Woj, I believe. And I think we have a lot to think to that. Look, don't get me wrong, Shams is amazing at breaking stories and everything like that. But I feel like it was kind of a natural progression once he started showing up on Pat McAfee that it was going to end up on ESPN, right?
Well, I mean, it's
a natural progression.
It's the reason that Ian Rappaport isn't on Pat McAfee's show anymore, which sucks. I miss seeing Rapp on Pat McAfee.
They had a good rapport, right?
Yeah,
they had a good.
I like that. Yeah, I like that banter that they had. It was very playful and very, very loose, and it did kind of. I don't know if you saw the most recent JJ Watt visit.
No, I haven't seen it yet.
He's like, yeah, I'm gonna be on TV this Sunday. And you guys have any questions? You want we have a question and answer segment every week. You have any questions? And AJ Huck goes, I got one. All right, AJ, what you got? Yeah, who you voting for and why? And it's like, ooh, I'm sorry, y'all broke up really bad. What's it? And you just see AJ like, no, really, like what? Wait, what?
Oh man,
it was just.
God, you don't expect that from AJ, right? You expect that from like Pat and all them to stir the pot. Wow,
AJ stirs the pot. AJ's a menace. Like
he is.
He drives with 2 feet. he pumps his gas with it still on, the car still on.
Oh God, yeah.
And then what was the other thing that they make fun of him for? There's a lot of things they make fun of him for.
There's a lot of things to make fun of him
That
for.
dude is every time it's like, oh my God, he's trying to kill people. Oh, he's got that lighter, the lighter that the flame's like this big.
Yeah.
When he's trying to light that cigar.
I mean, what did we have? Pyro for a Vegas show or something?
That was
the
an impressive
pyro
lighter. I want that lighter. Just okay.
I think there's such a thing as too much lighter, Joey, but to each their own. To each their own.
Fire.
But fire. But that's another thing I'm excited about. So not to make let's keep talking about good things. How's that sound? We'll talk about good things, and then we'll kind of switch to some other narratives that we want to talk about today. And that's
gonna be like eventually we're going to talk about some bad things. So yeah, let's stay as positive.
Let's stay on the positive. All right, positive. The Yankees are 1 game away at the time of this recording from the ALCS. Yes. And we got Garrett Cole going on the mound tonight. You got to feel great, even though it was a little shaky to start off with. But when you got your ace out there, it's always a good feeling.
We're gonna definitely see if everything we say on this podcast will age well for sure. I know one thing. I was shocked to see how bad Giancarlo Stanton is struggling to move.
I mean, if you think about it, because we talked about this off air, that exact same thing, how you're saying you're struggling to move. Man, you go back and look at it, the amount of injuries this dude has suffered throughout his entire career, not just with the Yankees.
It's basically been like because of how strong he is.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm not mistaken, like
it's a lot of soft tissue stuff.
It's not a lot like you almost rather like, hey man, like just break your ankle for a second, maybe get that rest. But hey, he still shows that he can hit the absolute piss missile on those home runs. Because that one last night, like as soon as that ball made contact, I'm like, oh, that's gone.
That was the 8th inning, right? If I'm mistaken.
Yes, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, and he had one earlier in the game for a double that he absolutely lasered.
And he stole a base.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is about that these guys
they showed him stealing the base, and no disrespect to Giancarlo Stanton at all, because you're more of an athlete than I have been in a while. Him running to second looked like me when I first wake up in the morning trying to do a dead sprint. That's what that run looked like. It was just like it looked like if you swung your arms with your feet, like if your right foot was forward, you swung your right hand forward, and it just looked awkward watching him run. Just because I know he's struggling to move.
No, and look, but hats off to him. He's trying to make the push, and you think it's for his teammates and everything like that, and make a real run at it, because
he wants that ring.
I was about to say this is a big legacy game for him, a big legacy playoff run for him. Same thing with Judge, and same thing with Ohtani. You could say, like, that's what the underlying storylines are here. Is you have the superstars. I'm not talking about Stanton. So before people get in the comments, it's like, what, he's calling Stanton a superstar? He's a star, but he's not. But I'm talking about the two faces of each league, the guys that are probably going to win an MVP in each of their respective leagues, haven't played in the World Series.
It's really crazy.
Isn't that nuts, though?
It's even crazier. So Ohtani is this amazing baseball player, like can pitch, can hit. He's not even pitching this year. He's only hitting. So imagine when he comes back to pitch and he's put in that rotation.
I mean, the $700 million, like when people saw that number, they're like, oh my goodness, that's insane. It's too much for him. I mean, if you think about it, you're paying for an MVP caliber hitter. He's a Cy Young caliber pitcher.
He's a DH, right?
Right now, yes.
Okay. So when he's
still
not
recovering,
so when he's not in the field, like when he's not pitching, he's a DH, basically.
Yes. Which, I mean, you can't blame him. I mean, I believe in his earlier career they had him playing outfield, but it's like there's no need to waste his arm like that.
Yeah, rest him as much as possible.
And then Tommy John,
when you bring him back to the mound. Oh boy.
And Tommy John surgery in the MLB is kind of becoming what ACL surgery is in the NFL, right? Like, all right, yeah, you're out for about a year. You'll get back about a year and a half to where you really were, but you'll be fine. You'll be able to play.
ESPN just recently did a thing on Tommy John surgery, and they hit a milestone with the number of players who have had it. Can't remember what the milestone. I don't know if it's like the 1,000th player to get it or something ridiculous.
It's becoming more prevalent nowadays.
Yeah, like I worry for my nephew. He's a pitcher, and he's got a mean fastball. He's working on his curveball and the slider. I said, dude, stay away from those breaking balls as long as you can right now, because if not, you are going to need that surgery before you hit high school.
And the thing is that even with the surgery, you come back, if not the exact same, probably a little bit better. The issue is it's a lot of wear, regardless of, yes, breaking balls and different kind of pitches will put more strain on it. It's also these guys are trying to ramp up their RPMs or rotations per minute on the ball, right? So when the harder you throw it, like if you have a four-seam fastball and you get way more spin rotation on it, you can have some rising action to it. You have more movement to the pitches. Hence why they had all the stick-em kind of controversy a few years back. Because
don't bring that up. Don't bring that up.
That's what I'm saying, though. And the problem is that these kids are learning how to throw a lot harder than their bodies are ready to throw. If that makes sense, or
it's going to take time for evolution to catch up on them, and they be able to do that naturally and not need this surgery.
And then just managing the workload, right?
Yeah,
properly. That's a big key as well.
It's
you only got a certain amount of throws.
Yeah. It's pitch count limits. It's innings limits, that kind of stuff. And I think I'm not sure, but I'm pretty sure high school ball might have a limit on how many innings you can pitch or how many pitches you can have per game.
I'd have to look. Each league is a little bit different.
I think it's changed since we've been in high school.
Oh, yeah. Sure. So back when I played for Kenner, it wasn't so much we didn't really have a limit per se, but our coaching staff personally would have us like we had a certain amount of like throws we had to get in, right? Like mine was a little bit lower just because of the kind of specialty pitching I was doing. So my max would be about 60 pitches if I was relieving and about 80 to 90 if I was starting. Just the way we kind of rolled it out.
That's about that sounds about right. Like it might be.
But that's beyond the point. I didn't go anywhere near that caliber. But getting back on subject here, it's just an exciting time in baseball. And to see these two like massive, almost modern day, like they're the face of the league, finally get their crack. And you cannot tell me. And look, as a fan, I want to see it too. I want to see the Yankees versus the Dodgers. And that's nothing against the Padres. It's nothing against the other teams that are in it.
As much as I want to see that, I don't want to see that.
I want it.
I want Subway Series. I want Padres. I want one of those two. I don't want the Dodgers, because here's the thing. Here's the thing.
I want the Dodgers.
Look at how the Dodgers fans have been acting with the Padres, throwing stuff on the field, acting menaces and all that stuff, thinking, "Oh, I'm cool. Look at me. I threw a beer at that guy. Wow. Yeah, you look like an idiot."
Yeah, an idiot.
Like
you can say
you're ruining the game by doing dumb shit like that, and it's got to stop. Like,
no, I agree with you.
You always hear about like, oh, baseball fans, they got in a fight. Was it the Dodgers? First thing I think, Dodgers fans, right?
Well, there can also. There's also one of the colors is very, very closely affiliated with a pretty big street gang. If you catch my drift,
is that why they have the LA Angels?
No. That was just a money grab. But it's just a lot of
LA Angels of Anaheim. The Angels of Anaheim.
The Anaheim Angels of Los Angeles, you mean? Anyway,
somebody said it was like it's like you say, the Los Angeles Angels. It's the Angels.
Right.
When it's translated all to English.
Oh my gosh, that's hilarious.
Yeah.
So who you got, Joe? You got the Yankees tonight? You think they close it out or what? Wrap this up with a nice little bow?
Yeah.
I think so too.
It has to. And honestly, like right now, I have the as of recording, the Guardians and the Tigers are playing, and I'm kind of hoping Detroit makes it. I want to see Detroit make it.
Just story-wise, right?
Yeah. That
But how
and the
nuts
fact
is it that
that and the fact that our friend is a Detroit Tigers fan, so I wanna
yes, we'll have to watch some games over the
I wanna rib him a little bit.
Or what about the fact that the Guardians had the number 1 pick and now are playing for a spot or now in the playoffs? Like it's wild. I love
Good
it.
for them.
I absolutely,
That's something you wouldn't get in, like we were talking about with some of my coworkers. You wouldn't get this in the old playoff style baseball. Like it'd be who finished 4th. That's it.
yeah.
You
Who
know,
cares? Yeah,
and that's all it would be. It would have been this, like we'd be in the LCS right now, but you know, you wouldn't have these teams who are like, you know what, we just made it. We have a shot. Like it just takes 4 wins, 3 wins.
But how many more teams were in it though towards the end of the year, right? And
Oh,
not
yeah.
just like, oh well, our season's over with by July. Might as well hang them up.
You're not tanking in July. It's like, hey, we're like 3 games out first,
like
like
playoff spot.
Yeah, we can do this. That's something that one of our fantasy football leagues is actually going through right now. Everybody in the league is 1 game behind each other.
Parity, people. Parity.
The first place team is 1 game ahead of the last place team in the league.
You gotta love it.
Which is me.
So speaking of football, it's a good little transition, Joey. Boy, oh boy, did we have a freaking week. So I'll let you choose, Joey. I'll let you choose. Where are we going first? Are we going to on the fields or are we going off fields first?
Let's do this. I want to talk about something before we go into the NFL.
Okay.
I want to talk about college football real quick.
Oh Lord, I don't even know where he's going with
this is something that we kind of just glazed over a little bit that I think we should talk about.
What's that?
Oh,
you talk about okay. I think we know what we're talking about.
What am I talking about? Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Yes. We need to make a trip to Nashville really quick. Man, that game. I didn't watch any of the game. I saw the score and I'm like, there's no way Alabama is losing to Vanderbilt. So I put the game on with like 2 minutes left. Just in time to watch Malachi Moore throw the biggest hissy fit I have ever seen someone who is a senior leader or supposed to be a leader throw in my entire life. Look, like, what? Why?
I think the realization that he's about to get upset by Vanderbilt was kicking in.
Well, and then it's like, okay, so yeah, you could do that. Then he walks up and kicks the ball. Like, dude, really? Like, yeah. What are you proving here by doing that? You're just proving that you're an idiot. Like,
or that he can't. Look, we don't want to insult anybody's intelligence. But we're going to say he lost his composure. And somebody, as you said, as a senior leader, can't do that.
And listen,
at all.
Listen, you can't say, because I've talked to my boss went to Bama. You can't say that wouldn't happen under Saban's watch because he's had 3 or 4 years of Saban to teach him the right and wrong way to act.
Oh, you're talking about the player. Sorry, I thought you were talking about the upstairs for a second. Yeah,
no,
sorry.
I'm talking about Malachi Moore himself. Like, what are you doing? And then after he gets a penalty for kicking the ball, he's still standing there yelling at the sideline for whatever reason.
Yep.
Like, dude, just accept it. Y'all sucked.
Yeah.
Worse than what Vanderbilt did. And Vanderbilt was better than you that day. Like, hey, it is what it is. It sucks. Look, move on.
No, I agree with you. But I think this spans back to the week before, right? When they were just absolutely pistol whipping the Bulldogs until the second half when they started making a comeback, and Alabama had to have a miraculous play by a 17-year-old freshman. Who, don't get me wrong,
my boss has talked about that every single day. He's like, man, that 17-year-old freshman, that 17-year-old freshman. I'm like, yeah, that's insane.
Like, if that kid keeps on the right track, just what he's doing now. Sorry, I'm not gonna put my nerd NFL draft cap on yet, but
yeah, give him 3 years. Like,
yeah.
I I think that like that loss doesn't reflect what Alabama is. But I do think that Bama fans should kind of be ready for this. Like, this could be their normal, where it's not, oh, the easiest place to play in the SEC is Vanderbilt. No, there is no easy place for you to play now. It's not a guarantee that you're going to win going into every game.
I completely agree with you. Well, what happened is they're like, look, we beat Georgia. We're going into Vanderbilt. We don't have to try. We don't have to really have a game, and we don't have to bring our A game. But dude, the second you do that, you get punched in the mouth by a team that has nothing to lose. What did Vanderbilt have to lose? Nothing. Then
all they had to do was just go out and win, and that's what they did.
Go out, play a Bama football, and just end it. But they didn't do it. It's a perfect example. It happens countless times when you have a team that's better than the other team, and it's almost like playing with their food. Almost, you know what I mean? Like it's like
yeah. It's you're doing things that
away.
You shouldn't necessarily do. It should just be like, just end it. Like, have it be over.
Yeah,
but they just like, we're gonna play with it a little bit. We're gonna make it interesting. No, just it's the attitude of put your foot on their throat and do not let up at all. No, like there are so many teams that drives me nuts that they coast. It's like, no, keep going. The Saints did that for a while.
Yes,
they would be winning. Yes. Once they get winning, it's okay. Prevent. We're just going to go and prevent. It's like, no, stop doing that. Still send people. Like, who cares?
It used to drive me nuts. It's playing not to lose instead of playing to win. Yeah, and it's like, no, play to win, and that way. Who cares if you hurt their feelings if you're up by 5 touchdowns going into the fourth quarter? Guess what? You don't have to worry about them coming back. You know what I mean? Like, unless it's something crazily happens. But I mean, we're on the same page on that one for sure. Like, it's
a stop worrying about emasculating the other team. If they suck and they're down by 70, guess what? They need to play better. They need to prepare better.
No, I mean, like
shit happens.
I was just using that as an example. It's just like, I don't think that's the reason why they don't play it, like, especially like in the NFL. I think it's just more along the lines of, okay, let's play it safe. Let's not make any mistakes. But then by doing that, like, for example, if a team's up like 14 points going into the fourth quarter, they'll run the ball, try to chew the clock. But if you get a 3 and out, that's one score. It's a 1-score game there. Like, it's a whole new ball game. You know what I mean? Like, that's the kind of things I'm talking about. Not really like embarrassing teams, but it just ends up embarrassing you if you play with your food.
But my thing is, like, if,
you know what I mean?
If you're winning,
and
let's just say, you drop back for a pass, you're winning by 30. You drop back for a pass, you see a guy wide open. What's your job?
Hit it.
Points on the board.
Yeah.
Go for it. I'm not here to, coddle you. I'm not here to baby you. Like, this is the big boy league. Like,
yeah.
Nut up or shut up.
Well, speaking of big boy leagues, speaking of Bama, unfortunately, on the grand scheme of things, as an LSU fan, this really doesn't affect them that much. Because if they go and win out, they're going to be a playoff team. They're going to get an at-large bid. It's easy as that.
If Alabama wins.
If Alabama wins, that's what I meant.
Yes.
If Alabama wins out, they're going to be in the playoffs. It's just a fact of life. Beating Georgia basically sealed that. Now, if they would have lost to Georgia, then lost to Vanderbilt, then we're having a discussion. You know what I mean? But they'll probably still make the playoffs if they win out. I don't doubt it with 12 wins. It's still a crazy victory. And words I thought I'd never say in my lifetime, that number 1 Bama lost to Vanderbilt outside of NCAA.
Yeah, football. but you gotta think about it. That's the beauty of college football is these small teams can any given day go out and beat these number 1, number 2 teams. It just happens. When it's your day, it's your day.
Man, the Appalachian State one will always stick out of my mind. That kid, the guy who makes the call, it's like, hey, the Mountaineers have beaten the Michigan Wolverines.
App State. What's another one?
USF did it like 3 times that one year.
UL Monroe beat Alabama.
Yeah, there's a bunch.
If it's your day, it's your day. Like, there's any given day that Tulane beat USC in the Cotton Bowl.
Caleb Williams.
Yes, Caleb Williams, Lincoln Riley, USC lost to Tulane. So, not knocking Tulane, but if I'm looking at Tulane going against a Pac-12, well, Big 10, Big 12, SEC team, more than likely it's going to be the other team's going to win.
Let's
But
give Tulane a shout out though.
That gap is getting smaller. I will say this.
Oh, yeah.
That gap is shrinking. I do think that they would benefit from a conference change.
Well,
that has been rumored.
About a Super League.
Yeah, they're talking about
a 70-team
70-team league, and then if you suck enough, you go down, and if you're good enough, you go up.
Yep,
I'd be okay with that.
Talk about regulation for college football is wild to me.
Promotion relegation should happen in every sport. I don't care what you say. If you suck enough, get out.
I think it works in every sports organization or most sports organizations. And the one I'm thinking in my head right now that I'm thinking it won't work at this moment is the NFL. Just because there's no leagues underneath it other than college football, right? Like
there's one way it can work. One way.
To have more teams in a sub league, or like
you have
NFL Europe again.
You have the XFL come back. You have the XFL grow. You get it to where it's a 12-team league. And you say, okay, here's the deal. We're going to play in the fall, but we're not going to compete with the NFL. We're going to be the midweek games.
Yeah, we're playing on Tuesdays.
You play Tuesday. You play Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday.
No, it's basically Tuesday and Wednesday. They're playing. They're not going to give that prime money.
They can, honestly nix Thursday night football. Okay. You get rid of that. So then you have 12 teams. So that's 2 games. Help me with math. If you do 12 teams.
12 teams. Okay.
Is that 2 games Tuesday, 2 games Thursday, or Wednesday, 2 games Thursday? Yeah, that's 6 games. 12 teams.
Yeah.
The champion, guess what? You're coming to the NFL, buddy.
Or you do 3 and 3. 3 on Tuesday, 3 on Wednesday.
You could do that.
Who's that fun, Tyler?
But then you have it set up to where, you have to have a game either play at 3 on a Tuesday, or you have 2 games competing with themselves on Tuesday night.
All right.
Whereas if you do the 2 and 2, you start the first game at 6:30, and then you do the Western game at 8, 9 o'clock.
Well, Joey, I'm going to put you in charge of our fantasy booking of the XFL NFL regulation system. Okay. Sounds like you
call me when you're finished being the final boss. Call me. I have ideas for the XFL. No, nice. UFL. Yes. It's a UFL. It's not the XFL anymore.
It's a UFL. Yes,
it's a UFL. We had a whole discussion about this summer.
We did. We definitely did.
I forgot about this.
So, is there any more about college that you like to cover before I jump to the NFL?
No, because college football right now is depressing me.
Yeah, I mean there's a few upsets last week. I mean, Arkansas and Tennessee.
A few. Yeah. Five ranked teams lost last week.
I know.
4 of them were to unranked teams.
I know. It was a fucking wacky day.
That's all. And again, I bring this up, and I think we talked about it last week. There is a chance we will have 2 Army-Navy games this season.
Yes.
How 100%. Crazy would that be? That would be awesome. And the best part is
5-0 for the first time since like the 30s or something like that.
Like 45.
Is it? Yeah. So some crazy
1945. But here's the thing: they weren't in conferences. Now they're in the same conference. So they'll play their game. Huh?
They're in Coosa, right?
No, they're in the American Athletic.
Okay.
So
sorry, there's a bunch of
they could legit be top of the conference with a game left, play their conference championship, and still have another game to play after that.
Play the Army-Navy game.
and then wait, let's humor me for a second. Because as a person with a podcast, I would love for this to happen. You get to conference championship week, Army-Navy play. They're both undefeated. Army wins, right? Let's say they're ranked 23rd. What conference is Liberty in?
I believe Coosa.
Are they top of Conference USA?
I believe so. I'll fact check that real quick for you, Joey.
Okay, let's just say this. Conference USA champion or the championship game, if a certain team wins, they're one position ahead of Army or Navy.
Jeez.
Selection Sunday is the day after the conference games before the Army Navy game. You could legit come out of Selection Sunday and not have the college football playoff set until the following week, depending on if Army or Navy win.
Could you imagine Army or Navy being the at-large bid?
Please let this happen. Please. I want this to happen so bad.
Joey, the problem is if they end up playing like, I don't know, an SEC team or something.
It doesn't matter. It does not. Okay. I need every college football fan to get that out of your head that if they play this team, they're going to get their shit kicked in. We do this every year in basketball. It's called March Madness. UMBC beat the number 1 seeded team one year. It can fucking happen.
It can happen.
It can happen, Joe. Give this to me. I want chaos. Because here's the thing, okay? Let's say Army is just a wagon, right? And they blow out whoever they play in the first round to go to, let's just throw out the Sugar Bowl, and they blow them out of the water. So it's a possibility that you could have this, like the March Madness excitement of a Cinderella could happen in football. It can. You just got to let it. Just accept it. You're going to have, you had a, 63-6 game in the college football national championship game.
Yeah.
Are you going to let that one game ruin your idea of a national championship?
No. It shouldn't. It definitely shouldn't.
Because I guarantee you that is why Florida State didn't, and I know I keep bringing this up, Florida State didn't get put into playoff last year, was because the people were thinking money-wise, oh, well, they're going to get blown out in round 1. They did everything they were supposed to do up to that point. They had a hurt quarterback, and he still did the job and won the ACC championship. So for that, we exclude him? What the hell?
So the Florida State thing, they got hosed. Let's call it what it is. They did everything they were supposed to do, but the college football committee saved themselves by saying the 4 best teams that qualify, that meet these qualifications, and they just felt like Florida State wouldn't be it. I don't agree with it. Look, just let them go. If they get killed, they get killed, whatever. But they earned their right to get there. And I don't want to go down that rabbit hole. But I agree with you.
Yeah.
Look,
I hate to bring that up, but
yeah,
at some point, we just have to be like, give them a shot. That's why we have 12 teams. That's why it's a 12-team playoff now.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm all for chaos. I like the chaos. Like March Madness is fantastic. And it's gonna be really interesting to see how the 12-team playoff really shakes out, because big upsets happening now. I mean, during the playoffs would be utterly amazing, and I can't wait to see it happening, considering it's a 1-game playoff, right?
Right.
So I'm going to jump to the NFL now.
Let's do it. Let's go somewhere that's not going to anger me anymore.
Oh wait. All right. Well, you may not be the one that gets, I don't want to say anger. I'm going to get animated about this one. Okay. And we're going to start off with, we'll do this first. We'll talk about the Saints. Okay.
Damn it.
Unfortunately, our beloved Saints lost 26-13 to the Kansas City Chiefs. And not only that, we lost Derek Carr for 2 weeks.
The Kansas Swifty Chiefs.
Yep. Swifty Chiefs.
Kansas Swifty Chiefs.
Not a lot to talk about in this game. I will say.
What about the thick pick?
I was going to get there.
Okay.
I was going to get there.
There is stuff to talk about, damn it.
I was going to get there. I was going to say the best for last. You kind of ruined all my intro for it, Joey. I was going to build up the grandiosity. So I'm just going to start over again. So not a lot to talk about this game. The only thing I can really say is that offensive line injuries are killing us. There's a really bad interception on the first drive by Carr that even he admitted was not good. Horribly underthrown.
Taysom Hill being out is killing us.
Taysom Hill is killing us. But the thing that's concerning me now I'm starting to see more and more is that we are having a hard time stopping the run on defense. And unfortunately, that's football 101. And it's like death of 1,000 cuts watching that game. It's like, oh, here's another 5-yard run. Here's another 3-yard run, 4-yard run. We made Kareem Hunt look like Kareem Hunt of 2017 in that game. He had 29 rushes, 107 yards. I believe he had a touchdown as well. But like I said, Carr's going to be out for 2 weeks, at least 2 weeks from what I've seen so far with an oblique injury. Now we'll give him credit. He took that shot on that throw, and that should have been caught by Mason Tipton on that 4th down play. Went right through his arms. It would have been a hard catch, but he should have still had it. Now let's talk about the positives. As Joey said, we had something spectacular happen during the game. It was Chiefs on the goal line. Patrick Mahomes drop back, throws a slant route to Juju Smith-Schuster, who gets hit. Ball pops in the air and is intercepted by none other than Colin Saunders. And if you don't know that, he is a defensive tackle for the Saints. And fun fact, because we got to talk about Taylor Swift. His brother is a backup dancer for Taylor Swift. But not only did he intercept it, Joey, he went a rumbling, a stumbling, a bumbling down the sidelines. And let me tell you, he's pretty freaking quick for a big guy.
He was a running back in high school.
Oh, I know, but still, that's a lot of weight.
Let me tell you. Well, the thing that got me was he's running, and typically they just run with the ball, and they're like, "Oh no, I got to run." He had it in the outside hand. He had it high and tight. They're sitting there punching at the ball, and he's like, "Nope, get off of me!" Just running through, like, did his job the way he was supposed to. If he's a running back, I wouldn't be shocked if at some point this year we're on the goal line and they throw his ass in the backfield.
Well, they used to do that with him and
refrigerator Perry his ass through the line.
Oh, I hope so. I would love it, dude. When he grabbed it. I can't. It slipped my mind who the player was at first. That's literally tell him stop. I think it was Alontae Taylor. I want to say it was a lot. For some reason, I'm seeing one, but I could be completely wrong here.
24?
No, it wasn't him then.
34?
It may have been Abrams. Yeah.
Was it?
It was one of them. It was one of the defensive backs. One of the defensive backs is like, no. Down. He's like, guys. Like, I'm imagining in his head, he's hearing one shining moment. And he just takes off down the sideline. And I don't know about you, Joey. I literally jumped out of my chair and I'm like, go, you big man, go.
I was screaming, run for your life.
But other than that, there wasn't a whole lot of bright spots. Like I said, we end up losing. That's 3rd straight loss. But something's interesting is happening here, Joey, with this Carr injury.
Mm-hmm.
We are starting Spencer Rattler at quarterback. Like, you got to do it eventually, right? So let me ask you, if he comes out and wins, let's say the next 3 games.
I'll be happy.
No. Oh, yeah, of course you'd be happy. But Carr comes back. Do you put Carr right back in there?
Go with the hot hand.
Well,
you have to go with the hot hand. The only reason I would take him out. So if I said this in preseason, I do not want to rush him in. I want to save him because Jim Plunkett, with his first team, got put in. He sucked. The only reason I'm using this is because I heard Gronk use it over the weekend.
You could use a better reference though.
But his first team, okay, Baker Mayfield. His first team, he sucked. Yeah. Overall. Goes to wherever he went to next, sucked. Goes to wherever he went to next, did okay. Now he's with Tampa and he's flourishing. I don't want him to be, he's going to be good on his 3rd team or his return. I want him good now. I want him good next year. So if he's the future of the Saints at quarterback, protect him. That's all I ask is protect him as much as possible. And unfortunately, this offensive line has me scared for him because he will start to pick up those mistakes and those, bad tendencies and all that.
I got what you're saying.
If we could keep him from doing that, if we could protect him good enough to keep him from doing that, then I'm perfectly okay with this. But the Saints offensive line has showed me nothing that they can do that in this iteration that they're in.
I'd be shocked if he throws more than, like, realistically, like, I'd be sort of shocked if they have it kind of in their head game plan that he's going to throw more than 20 times. Be honest.
I think if anything, it's going to be a simplified playbook.
I just think it's going to be run heavy, like Alvin Kamara, Jamal Williams.
It's going to be a lot of check downs.
Yeah,
a lot of halfback screens, that kind of stuff.
But I'm interested. I just want to see him, how he handles the pressure. Right? I've watched enough football. You've watched enough football to know, like, oh God, this guy's getting the crap kicked out of him, but he has something there, right? Like, you know what I mean? Like, oh, he may have had a rough game, but it's clicking, it's coming.
It's something about him that you look at him and you're like, oh, he's really good.
It's that it factor, right?
Yes.
Like,
yeah.
And that's the thing I kind of just want to see. I want to see how he commands the huddle. Because, dude, Spencer Rattler at Oklahoma was not the same person as Spencer Rattler at South Carolina. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So there was a maturity factor. I mean, apparently all his coaches talked him up and everything like that, that he was the guy, first one in, first one out, last one out. I mean, it's be interesting to see what happens with him. You know what I mean? And I'm excited. I'm just worried that he's going to come out and light the world on fire, and we're just going to go right back to Carr.
I think the only reason they would go back to Carr is, like I said, if he struggles, or if they're just like, this year, it's just about get us through the games that we're going to have without Carr. And they tell him that from the jump, and he just does enough. I don't know. Like, it's,
I can't even do a prediction on this game, right?
So I saw something. I want to wrap up, the Saints, like, we'll see what happens.
Yeah, it's intriguing. It's exciting to have a new quarterback, right?
Yeah.
And then somebody that's in, so real quick, I'll go to tangent. Somebody that's in football cards, like that collects football cards. The sheer fact that the Saints are starting a rookie quarterback, has elevated the prices of their, like, box breaks prices by at least $20. Easy.
Really?
Oh, it's insane. Like, so they'll have chaser lists. Like, if you got to get a chaser and then a randomizer at the end of it, they're now putting the Saints up there. It's all because of rookie quarterback that signs and has jerseys and all that stuff. So that's enough of me nerding out there, but it's exciting. It's exciting, but it's very worrisome with all the injuries we are getting, right? It's got to be something to water with the NFL.
Yeah, it's been an injury heavy year this year for some reason. Like, I feel like people are just, it's like an injury bug just flourished through the league. But we won 18 games.
Well, you also notice that preseason's getting cut down. The amount of time you can have contact in training camp, the amount of work you're doing during training camp, all this stuff's kind of getting cut down. Now it's a give and take. Like, yes, we are getting less guys getting injured at training camp. Like, I don't remember getting as many. Oh, this guy blew his knee out during an Oklahoma drill during training camp or something like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you don't get that as much anymore, but you do get a lot of guys that come up like hamstring, ankle, or hamstring, ACL, Achilles. Definitely
a lot of soft tissue injuries are happening.
Yeah. But yeah, there's one more thing you want to talk about.
So, in regards to football, so besides that, also it just hit me. We played Tampa this week.
Yes.
Who they came up Tuesday. I think I saw their truck downtown.
They evacuated,
trying to get out of the way of Milton, which I don't know if you saw. I know I texted you late last night because I'd seen the video of it that Tropicana Field has lost its roof completely. When I texted you, it was legit maybe like a fifth of the roof had caved in. No, it's like just gone. Like, there's no roof. You still see the structure, but I guess because it was like a
canopy,
forget the material. Yeah, it was just like a soft, like,
it's kind of like the old Minnesota Stadium was.
Yeah. And I don't know why. I guess it's just cheaper to use it.
Oh, yeah, 100%. Yeah.
Like, why are we still using that as a roof? I mean, they're about to get a new stadium anyway. I think I saw that the Rays are getting a new one that I think the council just voted on and approved.
Yeah, I believe so. But there was also, you got to realize, both of those stadiums were back in the 90s. Like, at least. So, I mean, it's we've come a long way construction-wise.
No, yeah,
But
we know not to use Mylar roofs as a thing, but
just want to say thoughts and prayers to the people out in Tampa, Florida area that were affected by Milton.
I tell you what, I saw a video of a bridge, and it was like a famous one from the last hurricane where the camera was shaking really bad. You see it, you just see kind of rain, you just see gray skies, and then all of a sudden, I guess a tornado came across and just you couldn't see anything. No, it didn't wipe anything out, but it was just just the wind field from it coming across the bridge, and people still driving on the road for whatever reason. Like, you know, you had the two cops at the bridge just kind of being like, hey, I guess if the bridge collapsed or something, they'd park in front and block it. Yeah. But they were sitting there, and I'm just sitting there thinking, if I'm that cop and I see that coming, man, it's tuck your head between your legs and kiss your butt goodbye.
Pray. You're
praying. Hope and pray.
At that point.
But no, I've seen some videos from like Cletus McFarland, and then Adam LZ has a spot out in Florida. They got some water, and you know, thinking about all those people in Florida, it's definitely a good vacation spot. We have a friend in Florida, so we have a few friends in Florida. Safe, though. So yeah, they've been marked safe on Facebook, which is good. But you know, just thinking about y'all this week. But lighter news. My original point I wanted to make. I saw a really good idea for fantasy football.
Well, you know, I'm all ears for it, Joey.
So Bleacher Report is where I saw this. It is. So we have a rule in one of our leagues. If you score the lowest amount of points for the week, you put up $5.
Yep.
And the way we do it is at the end of the season, whatever team is the highest scoring team in the league, they get the pot.
I'm just gonna say it's very nice to get that pot, which I've gotten the last 2 years. Just saying.
Hey, I'm coming for it.
I know you are. Hey, look,
I'm coming for it.
Homie, I know you are this year.
I think I'm if I'm not second still, I'm like a close third.
No, you're second.
I'm still second. Okay.
It's Luke, then you, then me.
Oh, so you and Luke switched.
Yeah, I had a bad week last week.
Because you were ahead of me. Okay. I had
a bad week last week.
I for sure thought I got jumped.
No.
So this league, they take the lowest scorer's money, and the league builds a parlay. And you take, you know, if you win, you split the pot with the entire league.
Okay, I like it already.
I think we should change to that. I mean, what are we this is week 6?
Yeah. Homie, I've already had discussions with our commissioner about making this happen, okay?
Let's build 6 parlays and just do it.
We'll throw it in the group chat. And you know, if we get a little more crowd support, some more fans involved, I am more than happy to do a show parlay.
Yes.
Each week.
Yes.
By all means, we'll take suggestions from comments, and just hit us up on Facebook, Instagram. We're gonna all get that going for you, so we can be followed.
Yes.
And
hopefully one of these sports books will sponsor us.
Yes.
Eventually.
I don't care which, as long as it's not Clutch Bet, because they're no longer available. Anyway, but
I do also have a question.
Yes, sir.
I want a morality check.
Oh, jeez.
Morality.
Yes, the wrong person.
So I had 2 defenses left. I had the Steelers. I had the Steelers and the Saints left. You knew as soon as you heard 2 defenses, you're like, I know what you're talking about. Exactly. Because you and I discussed this. I just wanted it out in public.
Oh man.
I was up by 2 to my opponent. And I considered just benching a defense and not playing a defense. Is that kosher, or should there be a 100% rule in fantasy?
So
now, if I would have started the Steelers, it would have been no problem. But the Saints were kind of scaring me a little bit.
So here's my look on it. First of all, I'm gonna say this now. I'm really starting to go to the logic of just getting rid of defenses and kickers, and just making an extra flex spot or something.
Okay.
Or an extra 2 flex spots. That it's just an idea. Just you kind of avoid this. But the competitor in me says, screw it. You only bench you bench them, you guarantee your win. as a person that's been in many fantasy football leagues, it's had many arguments about this subject. And look, I'll be the first to admit, I have benefited greatly by somebody not benching a defense. I've made the finals because somebody had -4 points when I was down 3.
Oh, I'm telling you right now, if it's a semifinals and that happens, sorry, I like money.
So, to me, I feel like the kosher thing is just always start a team full roster. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you have somebody on your area that all of a sudden has an injury, that's just whatever. But as a competitor, technically there's nothing wrong with it, but it may not be kosher in your league. It just depends on your league mates. You know what I mean? Because we both know it. So we're in 2 different leagues together. We both know that there's certain people that are okay with it, and there's certain people that wouldn't be okay with it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it just depends on the person, but competitor, I think it's completely fine. To not even rock the boat, maybe, but I don't see an issue with it.
I just wanted to make sure because if it's weird. Like I was so desperate for a win in that league that it's the league that everyone's within a game. So I'm like, I need a win. I just need a win. It doesn't matter how. I just need a win. And thankfully I got it. Huh?
There's nobody's hating on you for that one.
Yeah, but
I wouldn't.
I got to make sure I win, damn it.
At all costs, man. Well, look, you still got to meet me in the finals, man. I've switched my thinking in the one league from punting to competing. So,
yeah, let me tell that story really quick. He tells me that I'm going to punt in the league this year.
All right,
hold on. He still made some moves. He said, "Oh, what did you tell me?"
So I said I was punting. I just don't think I can compete because I lack of picks and my keepers were very limited. That's all I said. So I made a move to try to make myself competitive.
Made some moves, which, hey, I'm not faulting you for it.
Yeah.
Like make.
Are we talking draft night? Are we talking draft night moves or are we talking before the draft? Because draft night is a whole different story.
Because you made a lot of draft night moves.
Oh, draft night was wheeling and dealing, baby.
I'm sitting there watching. I'm like, man, what a punt.
Bro,
because you and I drove together to the draft, and you're like, yeah, man, I'm probably just gonna punt it this year. I don't know that
I'll be honest with you.
Competitive.
Once I saw Neighbors falling, and I was able to make that deal for Neighbors to move up 2 spots to get him, I was like, all right, it's on like Donkey Kong. And then I just let the draft board come to me. You know what I mean? I saw guys fall, and I'm like, I want them.
So what was it? Last week, I decided I'm going to start posting the power rankings.
Yeah,
for the league, which I found this website that does it. I'm the only one that has done it, but I'm honestly the only one that has done the work for it. So I'm just kind of claiming it as mine. But it does power rankings, it does schedule comparison, and then chances of making the playoffs, and then in what position you'll finish.
Yeah.
So I'll go on the website, I'll screenshot it, I'll send it to the league. Tell me why he's number 1 in power rankings.
Because I'm not good, Joey.
As soon as he saw that, he texted me. He goes, "I'm not gonna punt anymore. Well, I'm gonna give up on my punt,
dude." Because look, I'll be honest with you. It just the way it happened. Like, all right, like I won the first week, I lost the second week. I'm all right, 1-1. This is gonna be how my year goes. I'm just gonna be 500. Cool. Play for next year.
I'll do this.
But I haven't lost yet.
Pull the league really quick.
No, like I said, it's all good. And there is one more thing I want to talk about after this, it pertains to football.
Absolutely.
But, yeah, man. Like, we all have those leagues where you get super complicated and you have keepers and all that. And look, I made a push for a championship last year. Didn't work out for me. It is what it is. But I wasn't planning on competing, and that's what happens. Injuries to other teams have helped out a lot. But
let's see.
I mean, I really got to say is that just over this, while you're pulling that up, over this first half of the year, or a little bit of the year, man, Malik Neighbors is really looking like a stud.
So as you can see,
I am nuts behind the toilet.
He is nuts behind the toilet. I am the Rain City Bitch Pigeons. I'm a Spittin' Chicklets fan. They had a team that was going to be the team name that they wanted for Seattle. I think the name is hilarious. So I'm just like, I'm going to take that name. and I found a cool logo for it. So credit to whoever did that logo.
There you go.
But points for, he's at 638. Last week he was number 1. He is now number 2. Actually, no, you're number 3.
Number 3.
You're number 4.
Oh shoot, I am number 4.
But it's by like 1/10 of a point.
Oh yeah, no. Okay.
So it's a very this is a closer league than we think. The other league that we're in, oh my goodness,
because we also had for those who don't notice, and I'm sorry we're getting into the weeds of our fantasy football leagues, but
it was going to come up eventually.
Enjoy the ride.
Yeah.
In that league, we had 2 people that really just tried to make super teams, and I who I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
And the simple fact that we're still competing with those teams is hilarious to me.
Y'all were sitting there going like, "Oh yeah, we know who's gonna win," and I don't think either of them are winning.
No, one's the top scorer of the league.
Is that oh well,
yeah. But
I played
it's
him,
okay.
and let me tell you, the two losses that I have are like, it's they just scored the highest that week.
Yeah.
I was the second highest scorer those 2 weeks. I just happened to be I still would have lost.
Yeah. Oh, that league. And that league is going on year 13 now, gentlemen.
How many years have I been in this league?
Ooh, it's been a minute.
It's been at least since 2017, 2018.
Maybe 2018.
I'd have to go back I think
the history. I want to say 2018, but anyway.
We digress.
There is one big. We saved it for last. The thing I want to talk about the most. Joey,
something happened. Something happened this week that I can't put my finger on. What happened? It was pretty big news.
Robert Saleh is out as the head coach of the New York Jets.
I'm surprised.
I am, and then I'm not. I am in the simple fact of you're playing for the division this week against the Bills. His side or his expertise and his side of the ball wasn't the issue because he's defensive coach and their defense is actually pretty good. That wasn't the issue. It was the offensive side where you give Aaron Rodgers, Nathaniel Hackett, and everything like that. So he was informed by Woody Johnson. He got escorted out of the building. What I want to talk about is, so the natural narrative was, Aaron Rodgers got him fired, right?
Mm-hmm.
I chose to believe. I was like, I don't know. Seems a little weird, blah, blah. But when you start peeling back this onion that is the New York Jets right now, there's a story going around that apparently Robert Saleh had a staff meeting and told the staff that Nathaniel Hackett was going to lose his play calling duties and basically get demoted and not just be a figurehead at this point. Which for those who don't know, Aaron Rodgers and Nathaniel Hackett are best buddies. Like, the only reason he got the job in Denver is because they thought they were getting Aaron Rodgers. The only reason he's the offense coordinator for the Jets after the absolute horrible botch job he did in Denver is because he's Aaron Rodgers' friend. And coincidentally, the head coach gets fired maybe an hour or so after this change is made. You can't it's, and then I know Rodgers goes on to Pat McAfee, and look, he sounds very believable and credible. The issue is, at least for me, Joey, and you can interject with me if not, he's a proven liar. Or I guess, or what I should say is, he loves to play games with his words.
Yeah,
because what he's saying is, I resent that anybody's that I got him fired, or I said to get him fired. But I guarantee you the owner could have called up, which he did call him Monday, but he said it was about his injury. Could call him up and be like, hey, I'm thinking about making this move. Are you okay with it? Because I just find it hard to believe they didn't consult Rodgers.
Yeah, they didn't. There's no way. It's the problem of, that I've had with sports lately is, the players run the team. And, people say that, oh, well, they pay him all this money. I feel like they should have a say. No, that's not how it goes. It should be the GM, okay. What would you say? The GM is ultimately like the end all be all for the team.
Well,
Like
yeah,
he's a top
presidents.
dog. He's a top dog of football.
It depends how the team is organized, but yes, he's one of the higher ups. Yes, let's go with that.
So like, okay, so you have like director of football operations, right?
Yeah, and then the owner makes the final.
And then the owner above him.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Under the director of football operations is a general manager.
Yep.
Under the general manager is the head coach.
Yeah.
Under the head coach are the coordinators. Under the coordinators are the coaches. Under the coaches are the players. For some reason, we have to we feel we have to have this thing where the players are elevated a little more. And it's like, no, you come to my system. I'm not saying this situation fits this narrative, but this idea that players should run teams is kind of getting a bit ridiculous.
So I think there needs to be a balance, right? Like the GM can go to Rodgers or go to whoever, go to Carr. We'll use the Saints. Go to Carr and be like, Derek, we had a rough season last year. We didn't finish we finished strong, but we didn't make the playoffs like we wanted to. Blah, blah. Where would you like to see us improve? Or where do you think would help you be better? To me, that's completely fine. Now, if he says, well, I need a new star wide receiver, you got to go trade for one. You can be like, well, we're going to do what's best for the team, but we can get you another weapon. It just may not be a star wide receiver. That's a give and take you have to do. Not where it's like, oh, we have Aaron Rodgers now. Let's sign Randall Cobb off the street when no other team was going to sign him. Let's sign Alan Lazard, who was no other team was going to sign. You see what I'm saying? Like, let's switch to this.
They're going for his. They're going for his friends.
They're trying to recreate Green Bay.
Yeah,
and people, I don't get it. He was on a decline in Green Bay his last year there. He tears his Achilles and he comes back this year. How are people shocked he's not good? Like he's still on the decline. The man's 40 years old. Like we just watched this with Breeze. They don't get better with age. It's not wine. Father Time is undefeated.
They want it to be wine because they were really good however many years ago.
Yeah, well, you have a better chance of feeling that feeling if you drink his ayahuasca he drinks. I'm so sick and tired of Aaron Rodgers. Can I just say that? Like, I really am. From all like the BS with the Packers and with the, well, I didn't get him fired. I didn't get him fired. Well, you didn't help. To the, well, if you were all in, Aaron, why are you so worried about going to see the pyramids in Egypt? You can do that in the offseason. You have a pretty long one to do that.
When did he do that?
During mandatory minicamp. He shows up for all the voluntary shit, but then misses the mandatory stuff.
Well, that's that veteran thing where it's, the veteran don't have to go to practice.
Yeah, well, he got fined regardless. But the whole crux of it is that he thinks he's smarter than everybody in the room. And I don't know his intelligence personally, but it just doesn't make sense half the time. Like, I'll be honest with you. The point that changed with me with Rodgers is the stupid immunization versus vaccinized thing. I don't care what his thoughts were on COVID. I don't care if he was vaccinated. I don't care if he was immunized. I could care less. The thing that drives me nuts is don't play games with your words and then act all surprised when people are pissed off when you go, oh, wait, you told us you were vaccinated. Oh, no. I was immunized. I got to you. I didn't technically lie, but I fucking violated every single COVID protocol, which, yes, we're not getting into all that BS politically and stuff. It's a simple fact of trying to game the system and then put the blame on everybody else.
Yeah, it's the rules were set for this. And it's okay. Well, I have that.
I was immunized.
Yeah, but like you said, we're not going to get into weeds of that. Like,
no, it's more along the lines of his wording and phrasing of it and why I don't trust a single thing that comes out of his mouth.
That's fair.
Yeah. And I'm sorry. I like Pat McAfee I think he's very entertaining and stuff, but anything Aaron Rodgers related, I can't take him seriously for anymore. I really can't. Like, I could do emotion on here that I feel like Pat McAfee does a lot to Aaron Rodgers, but I'll do it off camera because I'm pretty sure YouTube would take the video down.
Yeah. So not worry about that.
Anything you want to add, Joey?
He's not our quarterback.
I know. It's just something that you know what I mean.
No, yeah,
it's just something that happened in the league that we had to talk about, you know. But I mean, anything you want to talk about in that situation? I mean, I think it's shitty that he got fired. I don't think he was the issue, but he wasn't a great coach.
Yeah, I think it's just the Jets have a lot more problems than what they lead to believe, and
the Jets are going to jet.
Yeah, the Jets are going to do Jets things, and you know, nothing you can do will stop them from doing it at all.
Yeah. No, not at all. They're a comedy show, and they're always then. I don't see a light where they're not going to be a comedy show. It just seems like something always happens to them, right?
But that's just how it is. You know, that's the life of a Jets fan. You know,
look, it was life of a Saints fan for a while.
Barstool had, and I wish they'd bring it back. They had a thing. It was called the Goddamn Jets, and every week KFC would put out a video of why the Jets are so ridiculous, and he would tell the story like they got my hopes up, and then they shit on them, and this is how they did it, and he would go through it, and he'd have the intro with the kid from Big Daddy going, "The Goddamn Jets," and it was the best thing ever. I don't know why they stopped that. Like, bring that back.
You know what I think it is, Joey? You know why I think Robert Saleh got fired? I think it's Woody Johnson looked at his fourth quarter projections and realized that P. Diddy would not be putting in his baby oil orders.
Oh, man. Wait, is Woody Johnson the same people as Johnson & Johnson?
100%. Yes. That's why
really?
Yes.
I never put two and two together on that.
That's why that joke is funny. He's like, we got to cut salary somewhere.
Son of a bitch, P. Diddy's not going to make his order this quarter. Fuck.
He was floating our baby oil division by himself.
Man, oh man. Ooh, man, that's a story and a half that I've been seeing some stuff come out lately about that.
Dude, peeling back an onion. Just wait. There's going to reach a point where we just hear a story that clearly we can't say on here right now.
It's going to be like, you're going to hear it. And then like, well, if he's done all this other batshit crazy stuff, this no longer shocks me.
No, like we could have a very interesting episode to see like rank the worst people in history or like rank the worst people in modern history. Like
you would have to separate it.
I said modern history.
You'd have no, not even like modern and like history. Like you'd have to separate it by what they have done. Like okay, we can't
Hollywood creeps.
Bingo. Because you can't bingo. as much as we'd want to compare it, you can't compare like Pol Pot to P. Diddy.
Well, yeah.
I mean the Pol Pot level of terrible people is like night and day different from like P. Diddy.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Also, go back and watch Get Him to the Greek, and you will see scenes that have not aged well for 1,000, Alex.
Dude, that a lot of that movie does not age well with him in it. Just when he chased him down the hallway.
That's exactly the scene I was talking about.
Right.
They had a thing. It was, I think Supernatural was talking about like, well, virgins and gold. Who likes that? And it's P. Diddy. Verbatim, that's how it went. I don't know what happened before, like what they were talking about. But
dude, on that note, like let's slip on out of this episode here. And hey-o. Oh man. But till next time, everybody, we're gonna enjoy all the sports that are going on right now. We'll keep you back next week with another brand new episode. There it is. Get it, Joey. We'll be back with episode 16, man. 16. Okay. Take it easy, everybody. Later.